What's going on, fish nerds? Welcome back. It's been a while. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Started some home improvement project, a little bit of remodeling stuff going on. Thought it would take me a little while, ended up taking me a long while and pretty much ate up all my time for like a month. And so that's why I haven't been putting out any videos. I haven't had time. I haven't had time to do any of the projects I want to do with my fish tanks, let alone film anything, edit and put things on YouTube. So I've just had other priorities going on. And so yeah, that's where my time's been. But things are finally getting back to normal. So it's time to make a video. And today we are doing a product review of a light that was sent to me by Hygger. They actually reached out to me and asked me if I would be willing to do a review on this, and I told them, yeah, sure, if you want to send it to me. So they sent me this for free, all full disclosure. I did not pay for this, but I did also tell them before they ever shipped it, I mean, if you want me to do a review, I will be honest in my review. It's not going to be fluff. And they were still willing to do it. They sent it, and so here we have it. This is a little 10-inch model of their Hygger 24/7 Aquarium LED light, and I do apologize to them if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. It's Hygger. I can only assume that it's pronounced Hygger, so that's what I'm going to call it. But yeah, it's the 24/7 Aquarium LED light, and I mean, I'll be honest, right out of the box, just not having used it, not basing this on, you know, its output or durability or anything like that, just picking up out of the box, initial reaction, I like it simply because it's not super skinny this way like the Stingrays. I feel like the Stingrays are too skinny and they don't get the broadness or the width of the light dispersal. I'm going to use all the scientifical terms to describe the fact that the light bulbs are spread out. I feel like this actually spreads out the light a little bit better. You get it, you know what I'm saying. But it's also still very low profile. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like Stingrays. I really like Stingrays. I have several of them, and I like them. And I would actually say I kind of compare this build quality to that. The Stingray may be a little higher build quality. Well, yeah, I would say it is a little higher build quality. But this would be maybe a notch below that, but definitely several notches above pretty much every other light that I've got. I've got several Beamswork lights, and Beamswork, not throwing shade at them, a lot of us have Beamswork lights and they get the job done, and I like the Beamsworks that I have, you know. But when you pick a Beamswork up out of the box, it doesn't feel like a high quality item. It's very plasticky and rattly and kind of cheap feeling in your hands. This doesn't have that. This feels like a higher end light in its build quality. And I haven't done price checks to compare price-wise this to the Beamswork, but as far as picking it up and holding it, this feels like a higher-end light. So I like that, and I really like how low profile this is. You could have this on a tank and, I mean, almost forget that it's there. I mean, it's super, I mean, it sits super low and it's super, super thin, which I really like. I like that this is not plastic. This is a nice aluminum back, and I mean, I like it. I like the build quality. And again, I mean, I seem like I'm gushing a little bit, but I'm a guy that I like when things feel nice. You know, when you get a new phone and you haven't put the case on it yet and you're holding it and you almost feel like you never want to put a case on it because you like that new high-end finish feel that it has before you put the clunky rubber protective case on it. But then you realize I really need to put a case on it or else I'm going to break it. And so you do. But that first day when you don't have a case on it, you really like holding that new phone. I kind of get a little bit of that vibe holding this light. And that's just me being honest. So, I mean, I like it as far as the build goes. I can't speak to durability. I don't know how durable this light is. So I'm not going to tell you that, oh, you'll buy this and it'll last you forever. I cannot say that. I have no idea how well this light will hold up. because I haven't really used it. I'm really only setting it up today. We're gonna go downstairs in a little while and I'll show you what it looks like on the tank as far as lighting a 10-gallon tank. I'll show you that. And you know, it does extend, even though it's only a 10-inch model. This particular one does extend where you could set it on like a 20 tall or something like that. It doesn't have to be on a 10-gallon. But it obviously it comes in other sizes as well. This isn't the only size this light comes in. That's true with just about any light. What was I saying though? I don't remember. Oh, durability. I can't say how durable it is. I mean, I might turn it on and it might last me a week and break and then I hate it. Which if that was to happen, if something that extreme, I would tell you guys. I'll get back on here and say, you know what? That video's garbage. Don't watch my video. This thing's... But I don't expect that to happen because again, this feels nice. So I don't expect that to happen with this at all. And I do have another Hygger light that I like and has lasted really well for me. I can't say whether this one will be as nice in the long run or not. Just, again, not saying it won't be nice, not saying it won't be durable. I just don't know, because I haven't tested it. As far as whether or not you could dunk this in the water and it still be okay, also don't know, because I'm not gonna test that. I've had that happen with another light in the past, and it did not turn out well. So I'm not going to try it again, because I wanna use this. I've got a tank that I'm gonna put this on, and hopefully it'll last me a long time, and I don't want to mess that up. So I'm not going to dunk it in water, but I also don't think they advertise, or at least I haven't noticed that they advertise that you can dunk this in water, so don't do that. And I mean, honestly, the lights that say you can, don't do that. But anyway, the features on this thing, it is a 24/7 model, so you can actually press a button on this thing and it'll go to night mode at nighttime, and then around dawn, I think it's like 6 a.m. I read the instructions and I forgot, you know, the times and hours or whatever. Somewhere around 6 o'clock in the morning, it goes from blue to orange, and it's just a single strip of light, so it's still really dim and it's just orange light to give it a nice warm look, you know, like the sun is rising in the morning. And then a few hours later, it goes to like 50% capacity, you know, because the sun is rising. And then around noon, it goes to full capacity. I mean, it goes to full brightness, and it stays that way for a few hours. And then it goes back to 50%, and then back to like an evening mode where it's almost off, but it's still on a little bit. And then it goes back to blue for the night mode, which is pretty cool. It's probably not a feature that I'm going to use with this particular one, because I've got lots of lights on lots of tanks down in my fish room, and I've just got them all plugged into timers, and it's just on, off. So I probably won't use that feature. But if you've got one tank and you don't want to have to get up and turn your lights on in the morning and turn them off before you go to bed, you could turn that on. I think it's a pretty cool feature. If I had only one tank, that's what I would want. I would prefer that to just the on-off of a timer. I think it's cool. I think going to blue at night and the slowly getting warmer through the day is pretty awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. And even if you don't use the 24/7, there's just a general on-off timer that you can use, the button here. Then you got your power button, which I've got this on the 24/7 mode, I think. Yeah, and so that gets brighter as the day goes on, then it gets dimmer. And I'll show you all this downstairs. And it also has different color modes. You can do orange, there's full brightness there, red, blue, green, fuchsia or pink or whatever you want to call that, purplish color, then back to orange, and it cycles through those. And even in just the normal on mode like this, you can adjust the settings. So if you've got it on full blast and you're getting a bunch of algae or something, but you still want it on for most of the day, but you're like, man, I'm getting a bunch of algae, you just tap that up and down button there, and so you can actually lower the power a little bit so you can have it on longer without cranking as much light, which is pretty cool. But I mean, I'm giving you guys a demonstration. It's not even on a tank. Let's go downstairs. I'll show it to you down there. All right, guys, so we're down here in the fish room now just to show you this light and the different functions that it has. Please don't judge me by this tank. I know it's totally overtaken with algae right now. I've been doing a big home project that ended up taking me like a month or so to work on, and so I just have not had time. So please don't judge me for that. But I do have a light here that, even though there are plants in this tank, has produced all this algae, and this light has been running the same amount of time as this light, which is not producing algae, even though this one actually has more plants. I mean, granted, they're anubias, but this light, same amount of time as this one, but is producing algae. So let's see how this light, the one we're talking about in the video, compares to this one, which this one here is actually a Hygger light as well. It's just a different model. So let's see how this compares. Let me get the remote here, turn this guy on. So this is the night mode, and it defaults to the night mode. And I mentioned the 24/7, how it goes through cycles. Doing that, it starts off in this blue light for nighttime mode. If I hit the 24/7 button, this is the dawn. You can see it's like a orange, kinda, you can see like an orangey tone to it and not very bright, so like a dawning sunrise type color. Hit the button again to go to the next phase. A little bit later in the morning it goes to this, which is kind of like a 50% power, and then it goes to its brightest setting of the day. So I would say these are roughly comparable as far as brightness goes. This is probably a little bit cooler look, a little bit more blue to it than this one. This one feels a little warmer, which, I mean, apples, oranges maybe, with the fact that this one has plants and a different color substrate. This one has the black substrate and black background. Maybe that's it, but I do feel like this one is a little bit more quote-unquote daylight. This one here is a little bit more warm in this tank. But as far as overall brightness, I'd say pretty comparable. But then in the 24/7 thing, once you get a little bit later in the day, it then actually turns down a little bit more before turning down even more for like the sunset, you know, evening time. And then it goes back to blue for nighttime. And if you're not just pressing the buttons, it just cycles through those by default, just every few hours, goes from one setting to the next, which is pretty cool. All right, guys, I mean, so that's the light. I mean, there's really not a whole lot more to say about this. I've talked about build quality. I've confessed that I can't tell you anything about durability. I've showed it to you in the tank. I mean, and talking about, you know, plants. Can you do highlight plants in this? I'm not gonna say you could do highlight plants in this, just because it seems about as bright as my other lights that are down in the fish room, and those are not bright enough to do highlight plants. Can you do most beginner plants? I would say you could pretty much do any beginner plants, any of your low light, like your Anubias and Jungle Val and things like that, you can absolutely do with this light. Maybe some medium light plants. I'm not gonna promise that though, just because I haven't tried growing plants with this yet. So I'm not gonna, you know, make any promises about how well this will do growing plants, but I'm interested to see. But I mean, as far as opening up, setting it up, trying it out, I've got no complaints with this. So there will be a link in the description below that they sent me to put down in the description for the light. It may actually be to their Amazon store or something like that. So there may be other options in there besides just this one particular light, but I'm sure this will be down there in the description below if you guys want to check it out. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If anybody has tried this, if you have thoughts about this light, throw those in the comments below to help us out. If anybody's had this for a while and you say, oh yeah, it's super durable, or you've had it for a while and you're like, oh no man, it seems really nice at first, but then it's garbage, tell us that as well. I would be surprised though. And as for you fish nerds, I am going to be putting out some more videos here very soon. I've got a tank right here to my left in my office that is going to be set up and stocked very soon, so be looking forward to that. I've got something that I wanted for a while, and they're actually down in the basement in a holding tank because I wasn't able to set this tank up until now. And they're pretty awesome, and I'm really excited about them. I think you guys are gonna like them. I'm gonna be doing some stuff with the tub outside now that it's summer, so look forward to that as well. And I'm gonna be setting up a shrimp tank because now that we're settled in here at the house, I needed some more shrimp. And so we hit up Flip Aquatics, our channel sponsor, and they sent us some shrimp. So that'll probably be the very next episode. Then we'll get into the other stuff. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you are subscribed, hit the bell notification thing. And if you've already done all that, I'll just see you next time. God bless you, fish nerds. Love you guys.